We are now
I'm refreshing. I can't.
going to figure out the football scores.
Oh,
Nice.
So, I'm going to write down, I think, on the back of this piece of paper. So, I'm going to give you the name of the team, not the city, just the name of the team. And it is your job to decide who's going to win. And we'll say, let's just say the win by how many points.
Okay.
All right? And most of you are not football fans, if I would have to guess.
Yeah.
all right. We have one medium football fan.
We have one medium football fan. Okay, so, and the idea here is you guys can go and bet like $1 on each of these games if you want with our guesses. And hey, you might win some money and you can donate it to us. I know there's a few people who do this every year. It's always a fun conversation to figure out who's going to win based solely on names. So, first up, this game starting at 10 a.m. Most of these games start at 10 a.m. The Chiefs versus the Panthers.
Panthers.
The Chiefs sound like they're just in charge.
Yeah, but against the Panther attack,
Panther's going to come at you from behind when you're
It-
not paying attention.
only one of the teams have claws.
That's fair.
What do you think, Jer?
Sorry, you're asking for my input at this point?
Yeah, of course.
Right now.
Like, I don't know. I generally would favor a jungle cat over basically anything.
Right?
All right.
All right.
I
By
think-
how many points?
How many
What's
points
it- what's
would you
it-
favor?
I'm not telling you.
What's a good metric of points for football?
No, I'm telling
How
you.
does American football work?
So
So-
you've got
So there's like 7 and
3.
13.
I was thinking of putting
Like
having
seven
But then there's
three.
also
And 3.
2-point
thinking
conversions.
of having a
Right.
sports category for my games, by the way, like where I would have Bad News Baseball and Blades of Steel and Tecmo Bowl. And then I realized that if I played Tecmo Bowl, people would have to explain to me like how football works.
All right, how big of a victory do we think a Panther would have over a Chief? Do you think it'd be a close victory or a landslide?
I think it would be a pretty close victory. I think the Panther would get would pounce and get him from behind. I guess it depends. If it was like the Master Chief, for example,
Oh, right. If we're talking the Halo Chief.
Ooh.
then I feel like the Master Chief beats Panther, right? But if it's like Chief O'Brien, he's got a little bit more of a problem.
Or Chief Wiggins.
Yeah.
So close, but with the Panthers in the lead?
The Chief from 30 minutes or less, of course,
So-
would kick a Panthers ass.
So by a field goal, 3 points.
Yeah, 3, 7.
I mean, you guys are putting too much faith in me at this
Yeah.
point. I
I'm
need you
gonna
to
say
make some.
by 3 points.
Okay.
So, who's winning by 3 points?
Panthers.
Panthers win by 3.
All right.
All right, next up we have the Broncos versus the Saints.
A Bronco is some kind of horse.
Yes.
Okay, good job. You're off to a good start. Good start.
All right.
And a saint is some sort of mythical thing.
They,
Isn't
they can't die.
Yeah.
Saints
So can they
sometimes
lose?
ride horses.
But
No,
saints
it's-
commit miracles.
But don't forget that saints are people who have already died.
yeah.
Saints
Maybe.
Saints.
I guess it depends on your.
No, you only achieve sainthood after you're dead.
And
Right.
you have 3 miracles.
It's true. Like usually you would find it would be like a team that then like has like a miracle happen so that they win. But a team composed entirely of saints doesn't seem like it might not be that effective.
Broncos
It's a
are
lot of
very
saints.
aggressive.
I mean, if it
it's
was
true.
like Saints versus underdogs, then yeah, like the Saints would have to let the underdogs win. But would they let Broncos win? Would they help Broncos commit a miracle?
Yeah.
Maybe the Saints have like a completely different thing in play. They're just kind of like, we don't care if we win or lose the game overall. We're just here to, play the game because that's what we do.
They're zen about it.
Yeah, they're very.
Make sure no funny business happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're just, and then therefore the Broncos would be like, yeah, but we're just here to run from one end of the field to the other.
They probably have a higher power on their side though, so I'm gonna call it for the Saints.
Okay,
personally.
well, that's fair. That's fair.
Like Broncos are super strong, but
Yeah,
they like
I mean, any sort of supreme being is not going to give a crap about some horses.
So, so Nuke Lasik points out, what if it's the patron saint of horses?
ooh.
Oh.
Well, then the Broncos would need to,
Yeah, they
revere or worship at it.
Yeah, they would need the help of the patron saint of horses.
Here
but
again,
the Saints
no.
is on the other team anyway,
Oh,
so it's like
but
a
they would
big.
not want to fight against their own patron saint.
Exactly. So it looks like it's Saints.
All right, Saints by
6.
6, says Beej.
All right.
Rams versus the Jets.
hurting my soul. Rams versus who?
The Jets.
I mean, if a Ram and a Jet.
The Winnipeg Jets?
No.
Yeah, I feel like
The
like
jet airborne or is
Yeah.
the ram
Yeah, is it
airborne?
still-
What is airborne here?
I imagine a jet is just going to crush a ram every time. It's just going to be like, see ya.
But you know what?
Jets by a landslide. Jets by 20.
Just by 20?
You know what? Birds have brought down airplanes, and I would imagine that a ram is larger than
Oh,
a
that's
bird.
true.
Like,
But that's
so-
because birds fly. Rams don't fly. They're not even on the same
Okay.
plane.
But a
Sure.
jet is designed to fly and not run into things. A ram is designed to run into things.
Oh,
So
no.
and in football, they run into each other a lot.
Yeah.
So I will assume that a ram, because it's meant to run into things, will actually be better at running into each other.
Jets are not designed for football.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
They are not designed for anything
I guess-
inside of the football stadium. They're not designed to hit things.
I guess a
They're
ram
designed to
is
pass,
biologically the perfect football player. I think
Yeah.
superior to a ram would be a buffalo.
Are these the Los Angeles Rams yet, or are they still the St. Louis Rams?
I believe they're the.
they're LA
they're LA now. Yep.
They're LA. Oh, they'll lose by a landslide.
I'm just thinking
Sorry,
like if you've got like a football player on your
You
team,
can't talk about the city.
and he's just like, the quarterback passes him the ball, and then he just jumps into a jet, right over to the touchdown
I
zone,
thought about
jumps out,
something here.
spikes
It's
it.
like high-tech Quidditch.
Yeah.
So the Rams would be really good at defense because they can make a wall. But if you're attacking, you fly over them as a jet. So the Rams are the better defensive team, but the Jets are a better attacking team due to the maneuverability of the
Rams
Jets.
can
Yeah.
Yeah, there are also such things, and I didn't want to point this out, but there are such things as ram jets.
What?
That is
Well,
a real thing.
Oh yeah,
What
he's
if they
right.
just- they become friends and they work together as one.
So
This
that's
is
true.
how I think
The
sports
Rams,
should play.
the Rams hold down the ground game, and then the
They'd be
I
the
think
greatest
we
team
need-
ever if they
I
could
think
have
we
only
need doubles
fuse.
football is what I really
Yeah.
want. Two teams versus
If they
two
can only put
teams.
aside their
The Rams and
differences.
Jets versus the
Rams v.
Wait.
Jets tie score.
Yeah.
Isn't every football
Yeah.
team already a fusion between two teams? Because they have an offensive team and an offensive team. Like they literally switch players.
That's true.
And there is the specials team, so there's the weird third.
All right. I feel like this one's gone on a little too long.
Tie score.
You were gonna call tie.
But I called Jets by a landslide.
Jets by a landslide. We
Or
need a
a
consensus.
guy
Scissors?
slide.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Jets are gonna win.
Jets are gonna win by how much?
20 points.
20
They're gonna
points.
crush them.
Both seem completely unlikely. All right. Next up, Packers versus the Titans.
Packers. Woo! Packers!
I don't think you're going just off the name here.
FPF.
If we know what a Titan is, I think a
Yeah.
Titan crushes a Packer.
I
A
think-
Packer
I mean, we
somebody
just
works in a
played
factory.
Titanfall too.
I feel like every year the Titans go up against somebody. I don't think anybody ever beats the Titans when we comes to it because they're Titans.
Yeah. yeah.
Like even if we're talking like Titans as in like
Unless,
Titanfall,
unless you've got like
we're in deep trouble.
the,
We're
I
going
don't know,
Titans
some cities
in terms of
Zeus
the
or
mythic
something like that.
Titans.
Zeus we know
Oh,
beat
right.
the Titans.
Yeah. Greek god versus the Titans.
Yeah,
Or was it Zeus's dad? Was it like
Kronos.
yeah. Kronos
Kronos.
was the one who took out the Titans.
Kronos took out the Titans? So
Yeah, but
until
it's not Zeus, it's Packers.
until some
Yeah.
city
So
is
picture-
like the so and so Kronos,
Well, picture these mythological Titans versus our shipping team. Who do you think would win?
the Titans anytime, every time.
Unless it was this thing of who can ship prizes faster. Then
That's
they,
true. Then the
the
Packers would win.
The Titans are not so good at the.
It's a small
tiny,
thing.
Fine motor
Yeah,
ball.
the-
Honestly,
thing.
now that you bring up shipping, like put Ashley versus almost anything.
So we were very
I'm
close.
putting my money on Ashley.
That's true.
Oh, we're almost at.
We've made some gains.
Oh, Kronos was the
whoa,
Titans.
by the
Oh,
way.
Kronos was one
Yeah.
of the Titans.
We are very close to 80K
And
for
Zeus took
the overall total,
Wow.
and we are very close to 20K for my shift.
Nice.
If we could take over those numbers, that would be super great. I would appreciate that. But I did tell James I would like to try for 25 on my shift. This is the last big donation drive for my shift. I should
Yep.
point that out as well. And it is for this box of Eternal Masters, which if you know anyone who plays Magic cards, they will be very happy to receive this from you. If you wanted to give it to them as a gift for Christmas or some such, they would be pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a much sought after item. A lot of very premium Magic cards in Eternal Masters.
So if you want a chance at winning that box of Eternal Masters, and you want to see Jared play either Mega Man X, Turtles in Time, or Castlevania next hour, which is his final hour, donate either $10.01 if you want to see him play Mega Man X and a chance at win the box. Turtles in Time is $10.02. Castlevania is $10.03. We have about 15 minutes until we take a look at who's in the lead. So let's keep going with this football here.
Yeah.
Packer-
Titans by 10.
So
Yeah.
Titans by 10.
Titans by 10.
All right. Next up,
Although, as somebody pointed out, if there was a team that was like the Kratos,
yes.
Yeah.
that
But
would take out the Titans.
there are no Kratos teams. So I'm interested in this one. I think this one's going to be an interesting discussion. Falcons versus the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Ooh, good thing there aren't any teams that are like the
Seahawks?
fluffy bunnies or something.
I mean, if it was the Jets versus the Eagles, then it'd get really
The
awkward.
hamsters would be
Yeah.
very bad. That'd be a bad
If
matchup.
the Seahawks were
If
very
I
underdog.
ever get a lot of money, I want to buy a football team and call it hamsters.
What is physically larger, an eagle or a falcon?
Eagles, I think.
I think Eagles.
Eagles.
You think an
Yeah.
eagle is larger, so they're going to have the advantage in size. But
Falcons in speed.
yeah, Falcon's going to be more maneuverable. So it's just like the Rams and the Jets all over again?
Well, football is a running sport, so in theory, being faster may give you an advantage.
That's only if you can get
On
by them.
offense, on defense, Eagles are.
Oh man, chat, Falcon Punch is a strong argument. Thank you, McKinningston.
I always like to think
Kingston.
of
McKingston.
Eagles as being like the lions of the sky. That they're kind of like the kings of
Yeah, absolutely they are.
Oh, and a
Yeah.
Falcon's like the Jaguar or something?
Yeah, and when I think about that, it's like the lions they like to lay around all day and not do anything, and the Jaguars have to hunt. So therefore, the Eagles must do exactly the same thing in nature, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
The Weekend said a falcon carries dragons into space, whereas eagles get stuck in storm drains.
Okay, but if this is American football,
Yeah.
Okay.
the ball
We have
field
passed
is the
$8,000.
American bird.
And we are dangerously close to 20,000 on the shift. So get those donations in of $10.01, $10.02, or $10.03.
I am so anxious to know which of those
It's true.
games is in the lead right now. I will wait until half past to find out.
Yep.
I want to get 20K.
All right. So what are we calling this one? Falcons or the Eagles?
Oh, Eagles have flown to the moon.
That's true. The Eagle.
I'm gonna say Eagle.
Eagle?
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
throw it
I'm
out.
on that.
I'm strong with
Every
the Eagle.
stadium is the Eagles' home turf because
Yeah.
it is American football.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
we're calling
sure.
Eagles by. Anybody?
14, 2 touchdowns.
You're gonna say by 14?
I'd say 14.
Okay.
Sure. Eagles by
A
14.
strong lead for
All right.
the Eagles.
Next up, Vikings versus I'm gonna say Washington because yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vikings.
How do you beat Vikings?
Vikings.
They have horns and beards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that should be illegal in the stadium, but it's not.
Okay. Vikings by 3 field goals.
That's
Vikings
not
by
nice.
3 field
Nice.
goals.
Yes.
So
on
by
the strength of that
Strong
kicking.
Is that?
Yeah.
so they
Strong
win.
kicking game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
The
win by.
Vikings, everyone goes with like they got big axes and things. Not a lot of people talk about their kicking abilities, but it's true. Yeah.
Legs.
Yes.
Strong, chunky legs.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how they rated people. They
Next
slam
up.
there.
Texans versus Jaguars.
Jack, as someone who's from Texas,
Ah.
Yeah, are the Texans just like a bunch of Texans? They're not particularly special Texans.
Didn't we already
I-
talk
I-
about
I know how many
No,
points that
that's
is.
not
Yeah.
Talking about Panthers.
Essentially, I got it.
Oh!
we've got
that's
multiple
embarrassing.
jungle cats.
And multiple birds.
Yeah, how did all these Panthers get into Texas? That is the question you
Okay,
should be
interesting fact. There are wild zebra in Texas.
What?
Because game hunters brought zebra and were like, cool, I'll put these zebra on my ranch, and then inevitably some of them bred and got loose and got free. So now there is a small population of just wild zebra.
Life finds a way.
It's a
So
good
you
point.
never know.
I mean, presumably the Texans do have guns.
Yeah.
Jaguars don't know how to use guns.
That's true.
We hope.
I've never seen I've never left a gun in the wild for a Jaguar
But
to
if
use.
the Jaguars are in Texas, we don't know.
Yeah,
we
it's true.
cannot guarantee.
It could
Jaguar,
be.
here is a gun. Do not use
Now-
it. Learn to use it and turn against humanity.
Now the Texans also have opposable thumbs, which could be an important factor in this
In
competition.
carrying footballs.
In
Yeah.
carrying footballs, because the Panthers. Wait, no, is it Panthers? No, Jaguars.
They can kind of kick it.
Yeah, but they have to grab it in their mouth and they're gonna puncture the ball, and I'm pretty sure that's like a foul right there.
If there's one thing that people from Texas love, it's having tailgate parties and playing football.
Football is the
It's true.
pastime of Texas.
You can't deny the ability to actually know the rules of football. That's probably
But you know
a very good.
You know,
Hey, $20,000 on your shift.
but you know what Jaguars love? is a lot of people hanging out in parking lots inebriated.
So they might lose the game, but they will clean up at the tailgate parties.
Literally.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we calling on that one?
Are we going to give it to the Texans?
Are we giving it
I
to
think
Texans?
it's a close,
Well, I think,
close
yeah,
game
for
to the
like
Texans.
the official rules of football, Texans would be
Yeah.
All right, so Texans win
Yeah.
by how much?
I'd say it's a close one.
So 1 touchdown, or
I'd say it's 6.
Can I get
Six.
can I get a spell off on the old driving for a sec? From someone?
okay, who wants to take over?
Someone who
Do they have
wants to take my sweaty foot
to
controller?
touch? Yeah,
Yes.
that's the question.
Can we do it by?
It's been kept clean.
We could do.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
you know what we could do? We could do it by 1 point.
Do which?
We could say that they win by 1 point.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
that would
want,
be fun.
You want to say they win by
You don't
one?
have to play any
They win
chamber
by
at the
1
same
point.
time.
Okay.
Win by
One
a
team
single
fails to make a
point.
conversion, or the one team that fails to make a conversion, or
Yeah,
they get a
please
touchdown.
Okay.
don't injure
Lovely.
anything.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, by the way, we are currently calling all of today's football games, and I guess some Monday Night Football as well. We'll get to that at the ends. Based solely on just the names of the team, taking nothing else into consideration, because at least with this group, or at least most of this group, they don't have anything else to take into consideration because they don't really watch football. So, we have gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the games so far, which leaves 6 games left. Next up is the Bears versus the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Bears
Bears
versus
versus
Pirates.
Pirates.
Bears beat Pirates.
I want to see a painting.
swim?
I want to see a painting of that fight. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be epic. Yeah, is the game on land or sea?
I mean, bears can swim.
Yep.
But how are they on ships? Do they get seasick?
Can they
I
fly?
know.
Wait, is this game being played on a ship? I
Well,
think this
that's my
game is.
question.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
on land
this.
or sea?
I think the game is still being played in a football stadium.
Oh, I see.
Right, which
What if
negates
it's
a
like
lot
a
of the
big
Buccaneers'
ship?
advantages.
That's true.
I, for one, would love to see more football stadiums on the open water, personally.
Yeah.
That's
Just
fair.
as a
Yeah,
side
that would
note.
be pretty
On a
sweet.
cruise ship?
I think that then it becomes water polo. The Buccaneers have cannons,
It's a good
except
point.
the cannons are back on their ship.
No, the cans are used for the opening ceremony, so they're all out of
Oh,
shot by the time
anyway.
the game goes around.
So
And
it
again,
sounds like
it
bears.
is a line of bears.
Yeah, it's just a whole lineup of bears who were all taught to play
Yeah, I
football.
mean,
With
Buccaneers
armor.
have like muskets and swords. By the time you get like one shot, and then you're reloading or drawing your sword, I'm gonna give it to the Bears.
Yeah, and that show
Yeah.
doesn't get you any points in football.
Yeah, 'cause-
I don't think.
No.
I don't.
It's
Not super clear.
which team would you rather be behind? Would you like to be behind a row of men with swords and a pistol, or behind a row of armored bears?
Like just giant bears that'll block all those bullets. Yeah, I'm down with
All right, so
Is
Bears.
it armored? Is it like football pads and cups, or is it like metal armor?
Who knows? I'm sure they can wear steel and not mine.
I
So
think it's either way. So
Like,
okay,
Like a bear with a jock strap now. It's kind of
You're allowed to
Bear
Thank
with
you.
a shot.
we're going for the
Yeah.
Bears.
Really wearing
The
bear
Bears,
clothes.
I feel like the tackling aspect is definitely going to lean towards the Bears.
Yeah. So how much do the Bears win by?
like,
How many?
14.
14.
Also,
Bears win.
congrats, and that may
Okay.
be the only time anyone's ever estimated a win for the Bears.
and by a
That is
landslide.
the extent of my football knowledge.
Yeah.
It's been years since they were, yeah.
All right, next up, Dolphins versus the Chargers.
Oh, I want to give it to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Everyone
Dolphins.
loves dolphins.
Dolphins are so smart, you guys. They're
Dolphins are
scary
they're
smart.
Yeah.
And
Now
they're-
here's the
game
problem.
plan.
I don't know how well Dolphins would do on the grass.
There's all that. There's that.
Just saying.
There's the field goal kicking Dolphins, of course.
That's true.
They
But
can do-
they're also in a tank.
They can do serious tricks.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if they've been in the league for a long time, they've figured out some way to breathe.
They're all on skateboards.
They breathe air,
Yeah,
They
but
just-
like over a long period.
but they breathe air. It's maybe that the game isn't in rain, and so that they don't dry out.
Oh.
Yeah, so we have a good question in the chat. Chargers. Is this like electrical chargers?
I
or is
thought-
it like people who charge?
A bunch of like rich white kids who have their parents' credit cards.
Well, then they can pay for the best
And-
football players.
And after a season, they changed their name from the Chargers to the Debtors.
All right, what are we thinking?
Whatever you're ready.
Are we going with Dolphins?
Dolphins.
Dolphins
Yeah,
by.
Hey.
The Chargers are also horses.
Um,
That makes sense.
8.
Dolphins by 8.
Yeah, 2-point conversion.
All right.
The touchdown.
Next up is the 49ers versus the Cardinals.
So a bunch of
Okay.
Old guys and a bunch of old guys.
It's a bunch of 49-year-old men.
And a bunch of 6-year-old men.
And a
The
bunch-
thing is
What about
that
cardinals as birds?
Yes, they're the birds.
What if they're the birds?
They are the birds.
The tiny birds?
They're tiny
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah, they are not what you would call like it would take a couple of them to even lift a football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing as the 49ers as a football team playing football against the Cardinals, which is a baseball team, and I think the 49ers will take it in that case.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good point.
Yeah,
They
that's
have-
right.
Although the Cardinals get a bat.
They get weapons. Yes, that's also true.
So I feel like hitting a football with a bat would not get it where you
Yeah.
want it to go.
But they won't
Who
be able
says
to-
they're hitting the football?
They're just swinging, and if the 49ers in the way.
Okay. Okay.
49ers
also
are
could be
miners.
gold miner.
Yeah, they're
they is.
minor 49ers.
So in theory, you've got baseball bats versus like mining picks.
Yeah, pickaxes.
I think 49ers fall on the right side of all these equations.
Yeah.
All right.
I think 49ers.
49ers by how many? Don't say
49.
40. Don't say 49.
No, too late.
No, you want to go 49?
Too
No.
much.
That's a
Too
lost bet.
much.
We gotta give them something
What
here.
about 4 or 9? Would either of those be acceptable? for
Nine
all
is nine is
numbers?
3. Okay, 9 is a single football, a single touchdown, no conversion, and a field goal. They could do that.
Yeah, let's do 9.
So let's do 9.
Okay, 9 points.
I'm glad you know how the points.
Beach doesn't know how points work apparently. All right, next up is the Cowboys versus the Steelers.
EE or EA?
When people say
Sorry?
things-
EE.
Oh, steelworkers. Okay.
Yeah, they're Steelers. Yeah, they
Oh, it's
were.
men made of steel, like Colossus.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
damn.
The Mets
Yeah.
have it.
Bang, bang, bang! Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting.
Why is this not working?
Like how violent all of our football games are.
Cowboys do have horses though. I want to say
Yeah.
that there is a continuum here. There's a continuum in place. It's
Okay.
a rock paper scissors arrangement between Cowboys, Steelers, i.e. cattle rustlers, and sheriffs.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? And so those three form sort of a circle of life. The Cowboys have to leave their cattle out to graze or whatnot. They can wander off a long way away. It's not difficult to drive a truck up and just say, "Hey cow, get in the truck." And drive off." I'm serious about that. Like
Yeah.
that's a big problem. And I think you need a sheriff or some such to deal with that. So I think that on a strictly like rock paper scissors arrangement, the Steelers beat the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jer, how much do the Steelers beat the Cowboys by?
I don't think they beat them by a huge amount because I think there are sheriffs in play.
Okay.
Are those the refs?
I'm not sure. They might be RFID tags.
How about 4?
By 4?
By 4.
All right.
I think that I don't know that that's a denomination that exists. Football uses weird denominations.
I mean, you can absolutely win by 4. I mean, you
Okay.
can win by basically anything in football. It's possible.
Yeah, you just have to score the right amounts the right way.
Okay.
So we could see it by 4.
Okay. We have 2 more games left. This is the next one up here is Sunday Night Football. This is the big game for today. This is what some people are saying could theoretically be a Super Bowl rematch. Seahawks versus the Patriots. And I know we have a couple Seattle folks here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta go Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Seahawks also will be like really, really angry.
Seahawks are actually, yeah.
I said how Steelers
Hawk
are spot.
attack against a bunch of patriotic people.
Yeah.
Hawks will win.
I
Scatter.
I feel like if there's
patriotism only goes so far. With angry hawk attack is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a bunch of humans can get stuff done. And
It's true.
And if they want birds dead, they can make that happen.
Have you ever been on the other side of a bird coming at you?
I mean, no.
I'm just
You
thinking
lose
about.
all your courage very quickly.
It's so of pure anger.
Yeah, those Patriots are holding freedom fries. It's
Like,
all
there's-
over. The Hawks are gonna go for him. They're gonna nosedive at him.
Like there's what like you get like 7 people on the field for in the game.
More
Football.
than that.
11.
11
Other side.
11 people.
Eleven people,
It's
sorry.
a prime number. It's fine.
It's
We
fine.
had 11 people on the field. I have myself seen 11 people kept at bay by a single goose.
I mean,
These are turning a
if one of these
Exactly.
teams,
It's what I'm saying is that if there were 11 Seahawks trying to stop, like you would need a lot of people to deal with that.
It is terrifying.
if,
All right.
if one of these teams was the Canada Geese, that would be a different matter. Those things are vicious. They're
It's true.
terrifying.
I have seen a goose carry away a dog
Jared,
Straight.
you have black squares.
How big was
You
that
can
dog?
interact with them, right?
Yes,
How
I'm
big was
aware
the
of that.
goose?
I've interacted with this one on multiple occasions.
This one in particular.
All right.
Yes.
So are we gonna say Seahawks?
Seahawks.
By how many?
100.
Yes.
By 6.
By 6.
Okay, really quickly, let's do Monday Night Football, and then we will see how the donation drives are doing. We have tomorrow night. Monday Night Football is the Bengals versus the Giants.
The band, the Bengals, like walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah. Yeah. Giants. They get to go a lot further per turn, right?
Are they-
They get
are-
a couple extra squares.
So-
every turn.
So with the
Yeah.
Giants, they are for sure Giants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like giants.
So they're
Yeah,
not. They might be Giants. Like
No,
they might
it's
be
not-
Giants versus
it's
the
not a battle
Bengals.
of
I'm gonna
fans.
choose
Not
they
the
might be
fans.
Giants every time.
So it'd be the Bengals versus they might be Giants. It's like I'm thinking of this.
I'd still vote for Giants.
Well,
Giants.
if they are for sure Giants, I'm not even sure if that's better than they might be Giants or not as good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Giants. Every step is a first down. It's gonna take an entire squad of Bengals to take down a single Giant as is. I'm gonna say the Giants by like it's 18. Does that make sense? 16, 18.
18 would be
3
3
touchdowns?
single touchdowns with no conversions, which is very unusual.
That's true.
But it could also, I mean, depends on how. I guess you could say 12 is probably
12.
more realistic.
Yeah, 12 is probably more realistic.
So you're gonna say, sorry, which one's it? Giants?
Giants by 12.
All right, Giants by 12. All right, guys, I will read all of those results out in a minute, but first let's take a look at the donation drive that we have going on right now. It is for a box of Eternal Masters, number 1 for the run. We may have more of these, but for now, you are donating for Jer's last game of the run. It's either going to be Mega Man X if you get your donations in the next 27 minutes. For $10.01 and a chance to win that box of Eternal Masters. Turtles in Time for $10.02 in the next. We have Paul has his favorite in the next
I like
27
Turtles in
minutes for that box of Eternal Masters, or get your donation in of $10.03 for Castlevania.
Yay.
I can tell you that of the 3 that we've done, the 3 that I've done so far, I haven't looked at what you guys did last night. This is the closest race we've had yet.
Oh.
In last place currently, Paul, you're going to be sad, is Turtles in Time with $611.22.
Well, that's terrible.
That's pretty damn good. However, Castlevania is less than $100 away with $702.10, and leading the pack by about $170. So it's not a big spread. Is Mega Man X with $870.87. So things are going pretty well, but it's tight. It could be anybody's game at this point. So get your donations in.
What a phenomenal deal, too, when you think about it. That for that amount of donation, you stand a chance at winning a box of Eternal Masters.
Yeah.
And you get the limited edition pin on top of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just when I
It
think about it,
is-
it's like that seems really good.
It is super legit. So get those donations in right now. You guys still have 25 minutes left to do so. But let's drive Jer's shift total up. This is the last donation drive for his shift.
Yeah, we still got. We're like halfway between 20 and 21K. Again, it would be really nice to hit like 25. I don't know how feasible that is with like 25 minutes of drive left, but
That's what Jer wants. We're going to get what Jer gets. Wants, gets, things.
That-
I don't know
those
what
are
I'm talking
opposites,
about.
James.
Yeah, that is opposite.
Well, James, you've been out for hours.
Yeah, it's true.
Literally 2 hours.
It's this is probably going to be my shorter day because I was here until 10:30 last night,
oh,
and then I went
10:30.
and well then I went home and finally managed to fall asleep at midnight and then got up at 5.
That's not enough sleep.
So I am tired,
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
but I'll be able to do this better tonight when I can go home at a reasonable hour and get like an actual night's sleep, which will be nice. I still do have to get up at 5 a.m. though, which is it's not that fun.
Jamie's still driving.
Oh yeah, we can switch that back to Jer or Mr. Petter or whatever it's been. Get those donations. Oh, there we go. There's some donations coming in. That's what we're talking about. $80,820, $31 now.
That may have been an upset right there.
Yeah.
It was. I was actually this morning. Like when I woke up this morning, it was when you were getting up for this shift. You kind of skews your perceptions, right? Because I woke up at like 3 a.m. Just like because I was like, whatever, 3 a.m. and I like looked at the clock and it's like 3 a.m. Oh man, oh jeez, I better go. I better go back to sleep. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's only like 2 hours before I actually have to get up. Oh, man.
All right.
It's like getting up at like 6 if you have to normally get up at 8.
So really quickly, just going over these football scores so you guys can 100% make sure you get them down and do what you're going to do with these things. We have the Chiefs versus the Panthers. Panthers win by 3. Broncos versus the Saints. The Saints win by 6. Rams versus the Jets. The Jets win by 20. Packers versus the Titans. The Titans win by 10. Falcons versus the Eagles. The Eagles win by 14. Vikings versus Washington. Vikings win by 9. Texans versus the Jaguars. Texans win by 1. Close match. I'm excited for that one. Bears versus the Buccaneers. The Bears win by 14 points. Dolphins versus the Chargers. The Dolphins win by 8. 49ers versus the Cardinals. The 49ers take it by 9. Cowboys v. Steelers. Steelers take it by 4. Seahawks over the Patriots by 6 points. And finally, tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, the Bengals versus the Giants. Giants win by 12. If our friend Lee from WotC is watching, Lee, I expect you to make all these bets. These all seem like reasonable bets. Lee, how do you think we did? I see you're in chat. Lee is a Bears fan. We said the Bears were going to win by 14. It's probably not going to happen. But we said it, and I think that made him happy. Lee, how do you think we did? Those are some bold NFL picks, says WotC Lee. Do you think any of those are even like which one is like the most possible of all those calls? Which one do you think is just like, okay, that actually seems reasonable?
It's the first couple times we did this, we were just picking the winners. Once we start picking the point spread, it just totally goes out the window.
Oh yeah.
We have every AFC West team losing. Yay! Whoops! How did we make that happen?
That's amazing.
Oh, except the
Seahawks by 6. It sounds like a lot of people are like, the Seahawks is probably reasonable. Chiefs and Seahawks, says WotC Lee, are the only two that seem reasonable.
Well, by spread, anyway.
By spread. So, hey, $81,000 hype! Yeah, keep those donations going. Paul, can you come sit down in this chair for a little bit? I'm going to eat some breakfast.
21 minutes left. Win yourself a box of Eternal Masters. Generously donated
Cyclops
to
boy,
us.
I see you. Don't you talk about my Seahawks. I actually don't watch football at all, but they're my boys.
I didn't
You're-
either, but then
Seattle,
I lived
you
with
are
2
Seahawks.
football fans for like 3 years and was like, well, now I just watch it because what else am I going to do?
That happened with me in esports.